your host, Sherri Shepherd.
Mowry.
Hello. Sherri, I traveled this weekend to Memphis for the Reformation Conference where everyone told me they love our show. Oh. Then I got home and I found out you don't upset somebody in the Sherri family. What happened?
I know. You know, it's so funny. I may have a big apology to make to the viewers. So I guess I did something on the show that I am not supposed to be doing. I wore white after Labor Day. And so this was so funny to me, y'all. One of the Sherri viewers tracked down my publicist, Simone. Now, I don't even know how they got Simone's number, because she's a publicist, but she don't have her number listed. And she said, tell Sherri she's not supposed to be wearing white because it's after Labor Day. And when I heard this, I thought it has got to be one of my older fans, because I know that this is a rule like my grandmothers made up and they passed it down to us. Because it was always, you know, you can't wear white, you can't wear, you know. And so I spoke to my stylist, Willie Sinclair III of the Milwaukee Sinclairs, because, I wasn't going to take the blame on this myself. And by the way, happy birthday, Willie Sinclair III. Happy birthday. But I'm like, you think I just came up with this outfit myself? No. So Willie says that it is an outdated rule that no longer holds. Because, y'all, if you remember, Michelle Obama famously wore white. That was after Labor Day. And I want to say nobody's ever said anything about Lisa Ray. She's always wearing white. Lisa Ray been wearing white since she came out of mother's womb. She's always been, nobody ever. So if it is good enough for Michelle Obama and Lisa Ray McCoy, it's good enough for me. So, do you know how much white I have in my closet? And I want to wear it all. But I got a couple side eyes. I put the white on. And so, and I said, look, do you know how much I paid for that little side slit sweater? I was gonna wear that white. And I said, ladies, if it makes you happy, wear white after Labor Day. If it's no longer, it's not a sin. But although I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie, because every time Willie puts me in white, I still get like a little trimmer that goes through my body, because I know my grandmother somewhere up in heaven looking at me and completely in disapproval. But I always say, grandmother, I love white. And, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the feedback, but the white is here to stay. I love it. I am loving it. And I got, you know what else I'm loving? I got to tell y'all, I am loving this Golden Bachelor. This show right here, every time I watch it, The Golden Bachelor gets better and better. So now it is week 4, and the gloves are coming off with the ladies. They are getting, when I tell you, they are getting so competitive, and they will stop at nothing to get a rose from Gary. So now, they have challenges every week. So this week, Gary had the ladies play pickleball because he loves to play. And he says he wants a lady to play with. So now April, who is 65, fell. She fell, but she used it to her advantage. April, this is very well played, okay? Because when I first saw April fall, I said, oh my gosh, she's falling and she can't get up. April. But she played this so well, because this is what you want. You want the nuzzle in the neck. You see her head on his shoulder. And I have to say, April, you did well, but now this may work in the beginning. But at some point, April, you know what? He told you he wanted to play pickleball, so you're gonna need to learn how to play pickleball for real and win. Like, Gary's not gonna be coming up to you all the time, massaging your ankle and kissing your forehead. Men are very competitive. So if you can't play, then you better learn. You got to do something because when he tells you he likes pickleball, he is telling you who he is. You're not going to be able to get around it. So now, meanwhile, they got Sandra on the show. Now, Sandra is 75, and she is in it to win it. Okay, Sandra, let me tell you something about Miss Sandra. She is not letting anything come between her and Gary. So she played pickleball despite having 2 artificial knees, and she was killing it. I love Sandra. Sandra is not playing around because she already told us. Sandra told us in the beginning she's not climbing up on no bunk beds. She needs to be by a bathroom, and she will also knock your ass in the stomach with a pickleball. Sandra said, do not get in my way. This woman missed her daughter's wedding to be on the show. Do you know how bad Sandra wants her companion to miss? You know, she's like, my daughter getting married. She got a man. I need my man. Literally, anybody who misses their daughter's wedding is playing for keeps. And I was hoping, I said, I hope this was her daughter's 2nd or 3rd wedding because who misses the first? You can't get that back. But I tell you, I loved it because Sandra, she didn't win the pickleball contest, but she was in the finals. But so she got to have her alone time with Gary. And this is what he did. He FaceTimed her daughter for her. And this is why I love Gary. That was so thoughtful, but it cracked me up because both of them couldn't figure out how to operate that daggone FaceTime. Oh, they had to, but it was so wonderful. And I said, he did that, he was so thoughtful. I've never had a man on a date with me say, let's FaceTime Jeffrey. Well, I got my hand on your breast. I mean, I ain't never. So I'm sure, and her daughter was so understanding because I know her daughter was like, go get your man. We gonna see you at Thanksgiving, mama. So kudos to Sandra and April. Y'all are playing it very, very well. Oh my goodness, now Cher, who is 77 years old. Cher is dating a 37-year-old man named Alexander Edwards. Okay, looking good. Now, Alexander Edwards is 40 years younger than Cher, but reportedly, her sexual appetite is too much for him. Okay, now Cher reportedly at 77 has a high libido and she is wearing him out. Okay, let me tell you something. Cher is my shero, all right? I'm not lying. I looked at that, I said, what in the hormone replacement therapy is happening over here? I need to know what Cher is doing because I need it. You know what? This is not your grandma's 77, okay? My grandmother wanted a sweater and some soup, but these modern day grandmamas, they want a bikini wax and a man. They not playing. I'm telling you, 77 know what you want. If you are 77 years old and you are wearing out a 37-year-old, the tables have turned orgasmically, all right? I literally, I want Cher on this show. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't want to know about Cher's career. I don't want to know nothing about her tour. I need to know where you get that sex drive from, Cher. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 77, but I am tired as heck. You ever sit there and you go, orgasms are the last thing on my mind. But if Cher can do it, then I am so inspired. I'm rethinking life over here. I'm trying to turn back time. Shoot, if I can find a way to get an orgasm like Cher. I mean, and at 77, what is an orgasm like at 77? Because, you know, first of all, I'm concerned because orgasms, I think it makes your heart stop for a hot second. You don't need your heart to be stopping, but orgasms at this age, it takes a lot of concentration. And I'm so brain fogged out. You know how much time it takes to get a good fantasy going? And then you gotta tense up trying to get that orgasm. I'm afraid I'm gonna get a Charlie horse. That daggone, and then you ain't supposed to be doing all of that. You friggin' trying to fantasize and Charlie horse is coming. And I'm thinking about that poor boy, the poor 40-year-old boy. His friends probably told him, you gonna wear Cher out. But he's like, I can't even get up no more. Cher. Look picture. He is looking like, look, he's looking like, you ready again? We just did it, Cher. And Cher got that look like, oh, Alexander, I'm ready again. She probably got this boy shaking like a teenager. She got him like, what was that movie, Misery, chained to the bed. Just. So I know, Alexander, you thought that this was gonna be an easy relationship, but this is not your mama's 77. Now get over there and take your clothes off. That's what I say. You better go. So now Kanye West has got Kim Kardashian scared as heck because on the latest episode of The Kardashians, Kim says that she hired a male nanny, but she was scared to tell Kanye. And you know what? For me, I agree with Kim because when you're a single mom, it's a hard thing to do to let another man who's not the father be around your kids. And, but you want, I've had a few mannies, that's what they're called. I've had a few mannies for Jeffrey. And it's important, I think, for a man to be around your kids, especially a boy, because I'm a woman. I can teach Jeffrey how to be kind, how to be a great citizen. I can teach Jeffrey how to treat a woman. But I cannot teach my son how to be a man. And so when I got, it's just some things I know. When I got a manny, there was a big difference with Jeffrey. Number one, the mannies always told Jeffrey, look me in the eye. Don't look down. When I shake your hand, look me in the eye. I never thought about that. I would always tell Jeffrey, don't be looking me in my eye. So this was my manny number one. This is Andre Lavelle. He's a filmmaker, a director, and a writer, and he took the time to be Jeffrey's manny. And Jeffrey was able to talk to Andre, and I tried to teach Jeffrey how to ride a bike, and Jeffrey looked at me like, I'm not riding that bike. I'm not doing it. So it's only so many times you can get on your son, but there's something about a man challenging him. And Andre was getting on him, he was hard on him, and I said, Andre, he can't ride the bike. He said it. And Andre said, yes, he can. And you know what? When a man challenges a little boy, Jeffrey rode that bike. Because of Andre, Jeffrey ended up riding that bike 4 miles with Andre. He looked at me the whole time. When he got back, he looked at me like, when that man leave, when that man he leave. And through the years, Andre had to go back to writing films and directing. I've had several mannies. Now, here's the problem. You don't want no ugly mannies around. Because I'm telling you, all my mannies were younger, professional, and good looking. Now here's my manny number 2. This is Vince Allen, right here. That was my manny number 2. Now Vince Allen, he's a filmmaker, he's a director. He came in. My manny number 3, Mignet Andrews, he's an actor. That was my manny number 3. My manny number 4, this is Jeff Blue, he's a physical trainer. Now, let me tell you something. They all were wonderful with Jeffrey. They are all still Jeffrey's mentors even now. But the thing about these damn mannies, they know you be lonely. They know mama be lonely. So they stand up, they put up the Christmas tree, they change light bulbs, they fix everything. They make themselves indispensable. And the problem was, they mannies, but I was like, somebody gotta be my man. This is... And they would always ask me, they would be like, you need any extra work done, Miss Sherri? And I said, well, I'm not playing overtime, because Jeffrey sleep, but yeah, I do need extra work done. But no, they weren't. But I wanted to, all joking aside, I wanted strong, educated men around my son, because he's learned so much from these mentors in his life. And he will call them when Jeffrey's going through stuff, he will call these mannies up and he will talk to them the way he won't talk to me. And, but I was like, well, shoot, maybe I should get a little manny shoot, because I need my plumbing fixed. I don't know if they could do that. I'm just saying. Sherri will be right back. Today. Hey, John.
Hello, Sherri. And you've brightened up our day in this electric green.
No.
It looks good. You were fired up in our morning meeting. You got something on your mind.
I know, it's just a lot of stuff going on, but this yellow is like, it was Willie Sinclair III, his birthday yesterday from the Milwaukee Sinclair. I know, y'all get me when I say the Milwaukee Sinclair. His birthday, he's right there. Y'all say happy birthday to Willie. He runs. Jeez Louise with this. It's too late. You're not gonna catch him there. And he is just like, he is gone. When I tell you, I don't know what happens with Willie Sinclair III. He's gotta be somewhere. We just wanted to, Dan, thank you so much. He is doing that cardio trying to find Willie Sinclair. Is this man wanted in 26 states?
Something.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I know you were trying, Dan. We appreciate you even trying to get Willie. But it was his birthday and he was being extra creative with the yellow, but it is, thank you so much, yeah. Yes, I am fired up. It is stuff going on. It is stuff going on this morning.
You had a big opinion this morning.
It is, because we have to address the biggest scandal of the day. Yes, it is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's wax figure. That's what it is. Y'all, no, this is not a yes. I don't know who said yes. This is a big no. Okay, first of all, last week, the Grevin Museum, which is in Paris, it unveiled its statue of The Rock, and people were furious because, first of all, this in the blue does not look, it looks nothing like The Rock. Somebody wrote in there, they said, that's not The Rock, that's the Pebble. That's what they said. And a lot of people compared the figure to The Rock's co-star, Vin Diesel, saying that looked more like Vin Diesel. I don't know, it don't look like Vin Diesel to me. That wax figure looks like Mr. Clean. That's who that looks like. I don't understand. This wax figure in the blue, it looks like one of those what I ordered versus what I got memes. And you look at the picture and there's something missing from what The Rock is. Maybe they should have given him like an eyebrow. Did the eyebrow. And I think also, go back to the blue, like that polo, it looks dumb. He looks like a gym teacher. You know what he looks like? He looks like that man that comes to sell you carpet. 588. I can't say no more. Don't even finish it. He looks like that guy that does the carpet. I mean, so it got so bad that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson spoke out, and he said, I'm gonna have my team reach out to our friends at Grevin Museum in Paris, France, so we can work at updating my wax figure here with some important details and improvements, starting with my skin color. All right? And he said, and next time I'm in Paris, I'll stop in and have a drink with myself. So, I love The Rock. He's got a good sense of humor. And the Grevin Museum says that it has listened to the feedback, and they're already working to improve the statue. So I'm glad of that. But, yeah. But here's the thing. The Rock isn't the only one who is upset at his wax figure. Lil Wayne is upset at his, too. Okay, now this is Lil Wayne, but it's been a year, it's been since last year this wax figure's been up, but it started to go viral yesterday. Now, who did that? Who did that to Lil Wayne? Who did this to Lil Wayne? First of all, when I saw Lil Wayne, I thought Michael Jackson, ah! Like, that's what I thought. And then, look at his shoes. Is Lil Wayne wearing Uggs? Like, who put Lil Wayne in Uggs? So Lil Wayne wrote, he said, sorry, Wax Museum, but that bleep ain't me. You tried, though, and I appreciate the effort. So this is why I feel like, this is why we need to stick to Madame Tussauds wax figures, because look how Madame Tussauds did The Rock's wax figure. Now this looks like The Rock. This is what I'm talking about, because the other museums, they got to go back to the drawing board and stop going to the online wax school. They need to intern in Madame Tussauds is what they need to do, and fix up The Rock and fix up in the Hollywood wax.
I would like to see you in Madame Tussauds.
I don't know what I would be doing at the Wax Museum.
Holding a talk show microphone.
Oh, yes, that's good. I love to hold the talk show. They got a lot of people there. If y'all haven't been to Madame Tussauds, you should go, because they got a lot of really great wax figures in there. But now, the other one that I love her so much because I like saying her name, Sofia Vergara has a new man. Sofia Vergara, I just love saying her name. She's got a lot of R's. No matter how much you say her name, you can't say it wrong. Sofia Vergara. You cannot say it wrong. So Sophia had split from her husband, Joe Manganiello, over the summer. I was sad about that. And Joe Manganiello is known for the Magic Mike True Blood movies and just for being just straight up sexy. All right, that is him right there and on Magic Mike. And woo, he looks good. But I don't know if that was enough for Sophia because she's going for a different type. Now, she was spotted on a date with an Ivy League educated orthopedic surgeon. Okay? This orthopedic surgeon, he don't know what done hit him, okay? This is them on a casual date. Sophia came out in a velvet corset and a see-through lace corset and velvet jogging pants, okay? He probably was just taking her to Outback Steakhouse to get an onion tower, and this is the way she came out, okay? Now, and I like it because the surgeon, he's not a regular guy. I'm sure he's an orthopedic surgeon. He's Ivy League, so he's making good money, but he's still a regular person. I don't know if she's wearing this to a casual date, what's she gonna wear to the medical conventions? She gonna have a see-through doggone skeleton outfit on, but he is definitely a far cry from Joe Manganiello. All right, they look completely different. And somebody asked me this morning when we were talking about this, they said, would I rather have a hot man or a smart man? Clap if you rather have a hot man. Okay, 4 people. So clap if you want the smart man. Yes. Because you know what the thing about, like a hot man is good at first, but you know, hot men if they're hot, they're in the mirror a lot. Hot men are always, my mother always said, don't get with a man who's in the mirror more than you. That's what she said. And you know, it must be nice for Sophia to be the only one having to get up and get dressed, because the orthopedic surgeon definitely doesn't. For me, after you get over the body, and if he has nothing up there, that's not sexy to me at all. But if you're really smart, that to me, that's very, very sexy, your intelligence. So, because there's only so much you can do with the muscles after you finish lusting after the muscles. But that smartness, that's that long-term sexy. You know, and so an orthopedic surgeon, I like that because the orthopedic surgeon, he knows how to work that body. That's what, an orthopedic surgeon, Sophia, he knows how to get in there and work those joints. That's what he does. And if you Google an orthopedic surgeon, it says that they specialize in certain areas of the body. Yes, I like that. Yeah, he could crack my back anytime. And here's the thing about being with an orthopedic surgeon. If he breaks your back, he can fix it, all right? So you go ahead, Sophia. And let me tell you, singer Keke Wyatt, she is balancing motherhood like a champ. Now, Keke Wyatt, I love her so much. My first love, that's what she's singing. And she hits those notes. Keke has 11 kids. What in the Nick Cannon is going on over here? 11 kids, and she says 11 kids is not as hard as many may think. So she says she manages to find one-on-one time with each child, and she's not ruling out more kids. But you know who probably is upset? Her older children. You know what? Because if you come from a big family, the older siblings are always in charge of the younger ones. So probably Keke's older kids are like, Mama, enough. Please stop getting pregnant. Because that's the benefit to having a big family. If you come from a big family, you always pair up the older ones. They got to take care of the younger ones. And your mama's always going, take your brother with you. Take your sister with you. The older ones never have a shot. You know, and I used to have to take care of my baby sisters. I'd take them with me and leave them all on the couch. My poor sisters didn't know what had hit them. I had them in all kinds of situations. You know, because you had to watch them all the time. And they would go, is your sister Lisa all right? She just fell off the couch. I said, she all right. But my mother always had me taking care of the 2 younger ones, and I couldn't stand it. And I would always be like, I did not have these babies. I didn't tell you. Well, that was my inside voice. I always said that. I always said that inside. So, Kiki is doing her thing because the kids are taking care of the kids. So her oldest is 23 and her youngest child is 1. So, yes, it would be a little easier because I know the 23-year-old is working. Probably the 23-year-old is like, I don't want to have no babies. So we love Kiki Wyatt, and I love the way Kiki Wyatt sings. I actually think every time Kiki Wyatt has a baby, it helps her octaves. Literally. I think every time Kiki has a baby, she sings better. So, Kiki, you keep on getting pregnant, because I love your songs, girl. I love you. Now, this I don't love. Comedian Aries Spears. He is another victim of onstage heckling. So Aries Spears was performing at the Chicago Improv, my hometown, when a man in the audience jumped on stage and attempted to attack him. So security stopped the man while Aries stood his ground. That's one thing, don't mess with Aries. He not playing. So Aries yelled to the man, he said, "I ain't Chris Rock." That's what he said. So the man was removed by security and he was booed off stage. I'm gonna tell you, every comic in the world, that's the line we love. I ain't Chris Rock. I don't care. No matter what people say to a comic, that is what they gonna use. A person could say to me at a comedy club, "I love you, Sherri," and I go, "I ain't Chris Rock." It just sounds so good. Because that means the whole "I ain't Chris Rock" means don't even try it. But I do think as a fellow comedian, this is getting out of hand with these hecklers because, we get paid to get on the stage to make you laugh. If you don't like something we say, you don't get to stand up, get on stage, and confront me because this is my job. They paid me money to come here. And I feel like when somebody confronts you on stage, it's because there's no barriers. There's no barriers protecting me from the audience, like when people are up on stage singing. And so there's no, they just jump on that stage. And I'm telling you, the male comics, they will fight. They don't like that. But you female comics, I think, women, we be thinking about other stuff. Like, what do we have to lose? What's going on? Our kids. And I'm too old to be fighting. Somebody jumps on stage with me because I know the first thing I ain't gonna do, they're gonna try to pull my wig off. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? That's the first thing they're gonna do. They're gonna try to pull my wig off. The second thing, they're gonna try to go for my boobs, and I just paid for these. I gotta protect these at all costs. So somebody jump on stage trying to heckle me, the first thing I'm doing, I ain't proving nothing to nobody. I am running off the stage to the nearest lawyer's office so I can sue and give me some money if you think you can heckle me. I'm not, like, you can't fight like you used to. Everything be hurting. One punch, you like, ow, ooh. So I just don't understand it. I don't get why people who pay to buy a ticket to come laugh want to get up on the stage and fight. But I do know that hecklers, you get hecklers all the time, and usually hecklers are just people who are too scared to get up and try it for themselves. That's usually what it is with hecklers. They want to do what you do, but they don't have the courage to do it. I think the worst heckler I had, he said, I was at a club in Chicago. Everything happened in Chicago. And I was trying to talk, and he kept heckling me, and I said, "Sir, I am just here to make you laugh. Like, everybody just wants to laugh. Calm down." Because I try to be very, very nice, and then if they keep heckling, then I use humor. Then the third time, I'm like, if these security guards don't come help me. But he said to me, he said, "I will sit you on my beep and spin you around." That's what he said. That's what he said. And I was like, "Thank you, Lord, I gotta go." And I said, that little thing, I couldn't sit, I wouldn't even be able to see it to be sitting on. You just go, oh, but I just say comedy clubs, y'all have to protect the comics better than what you're doing so that we feel safe being on stage. And Aries, you be all right. Your mouth will stop some stuff, so. Now, Lala Anthony is posing a question that have people divided. She posed a question to Instagram. She said, should you post your partner on social media? Take a look.
If you're in a relationship with somebody, should you post them on social media? A lot of guys was like, nah, I'm not going to post my girl on social media. I don't want everybody in my business. I don't want people to know that. But then the females at the table were saying that the only reason guys don't want to post them is because they don't want other girls to know they're in a relationship. This way, if you don't post your partner, you can still be out there doing your thing. And then a lot of girls said, I don't post my man on social media because I don't want everybody in my business. I want to protect my relationship. That's how things get messy. So like, should you post your partner on social media or should you not?
I know, for me, I say you got to be careful when you start posting your partner, because once you let people into that special part of your life, you're going to have a very hard time saying, respect my privacy, because social media is up for public consumption. So now when you start posting all the time and y'all kissing and holding hands and showing every bit of your life, people get to have a say. That's why they put out all the comments. And this is why I have learned from going through very public marriages and divorces that I don't want to talk about any relationships I'm in into social media, because I don't want y'all telling me, I don't want to hear nothing. Which is probably why I got 2 divorces, because I didn't want to hear nothing. But I did. I had to listen to all my friends. With husband 1B, all my friends, I had to listen to them. Everybody was giving me their opinion. So I sure don't want opinions from 1.2 million followers. I mean, unless I'm dating Lenny Kravitz, then I'm telling everybody. I'm posting Lenny Kravitz on all of my social media. Y'all gonna know Lenny Kravitz is taken, all right? And also you have to look at maybe the person that you are posting, they didn't ask for that. Because once you start posting people, especially if you're a celebrity, then everybody's gonna have opinions about the person you posted. I mean, they're gonna find, and these internet sleuths, they will find out if there's a felony, if it's an arrest, if you were drunk driving. It will be out there for the entire world to weigh in. So when I see people, first of all, on social media, when I see them posting too much, I just hope that the relationship doesn't go south, because they're always posting. And then I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't believe anything on Instagram anyway. When people keep posting, they're so happy. I don't know if I'm jaded. I just go, am I jaded? I don't know if I'm jaded, but I just don't believe it. So now, you got to turn off all your comments once you start posting everything. Now, if you break up, you got to delete all of the pictures. So I feel like if you can't keep something that's special, you got so much out there. If you have a little bit of something that's special that you don't have to share with everybody, it makes it so much more, special with you and your partner. That's how I feel. Now, the downside to not posting stuff is at some point you're going to have to come clean. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there like, for the last 7 years, we've been separated. That's the statement, okay? If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, Google Red Table, all right? So now this, and this seems like to be in the trend that, people are separated and we don't know because they didn't post, they didn't tell you they're separated. Like Meryl Streep, we just found out she has been separated for the last 6 years to her husband, and we didn't know it. Now it's so much separation and people kept it secret. I'm so desensitized. So when I heard Meryl Streep was separated, I was like, oh, that's too bad. I hope she's making another movie. And I kept... And you know who else was separated for a long time? We didn't know nothing about it? Janet Jackson. Remember Janet? Renee Elizondo. She didn't say that they were separated until you found out she was married. They got divorced, but they were together for 10 years. And nobody even knew. Janet is a good keeper of secrets, because I didn't know anything about Renee until he had his hands over her boobs on that Rolling Stone cover. That was it. And then I remember I found out about their relationship when she had that song, Bet You Think This Song Is About You. If you listen to the lyrics, she said, had that stupid bitch at my beach house. I was like, he did! Sherri will be right back. This is the day, boy. Man, hey, John.
Hello. Our audience came in here wired on a Wednesday, huh?
Oh, man. So I got to tell y'all something. The Swifties are so excited today because the first picture was released. It is official, of Taylor kissing Travis Kelce. Oh, yeah, look at her all dressed up in her little sexy NFL gear. She gave him a sweet kiss on the cheek after the game this weekend. And I'm like, okay, it's all right. Now we got to find this shirt for you, John. You got to...
As soon as the photo came out, I texted Willie Sinclair III of the Sinclairs of Milwaukee, and I said, find it, sir, find
that shirt. Yes. They look so good, you know, because everybody has been obsessed with Travis's style choices since he got with Taylor. He is really, like, I never knew who Travis Kelce was before I saw him with Taylor, so I don't know, was he dressing like this, John, before Taylor?
He's been fly for a while, but now, you know, the spotlight is on him.
Well, I know he was dressing like, he was with a black girl beforehand, so I know he was dancing with this, like this. I ain't no dog. I know I shouldn't, but I just gotta say no doggone way. What was his ex-girlfriend's name?
I don't know her name. I think it was like Taylor.
Well, whatever. I'm gonna call her sis. Ain't no way sis would have doggone let him dress crazy if he was with her. So he looks good, but like any one of those looks, John, you could get. You got that first look that he had at dinner one that sold out. Yeah, you got that first look.
And thank you to the Sherri family, because we did a Who Wore It Best on social media, and they loved on me.
Our fans loved on you. But you know, it's so funny because Travis says it takes him 3 hours to decide on what he's wearing. And I'm just like, 3 hours? As a man, what are you doing in 3 hours? That's just, John, how long does it take you to get dressed?
I'm not a morning person, so it usually takes, and I like to shower. I stay in the shower a long time.
Yeah.
So it usually takes me about an hour.
Okay, it takes you about an hour. Marco, how long does it take you to get dressed?
Well, contrary to popular belief, it takes me about an hour or two.
It takes you about an hour?
And most of that hour, I'm on the toilet, you know what I mean?
You know, y'all, let me tell you something. This is how much I love Marco. Marco, you could be going, oh my God, he's so sexy, he's so fine. And in one phrase, you will go, oh my gosh. So 1 hour, Sus, how long does it take you to get?
Like an hour. It takes me like 45 minutes to comb my hair.
You gotta come on the road with me and do some stand-up. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, y'all talking about it takes you an hour to get ready. You, Marco, Sus. This goes against everything that I tell my son, because I'm always screaming up there to Jeffrey, get up there and wash your butt and get down here. So I'm always like rushing him, and I feel like now I'm doing something wrong to, you know, to allow him to take his time. But I don't want to be with a man if it's gonna take him 3 hours to get ready. Clap if you don't, clap if you wouldn't mind being with a man who took 3 hours. Okay, so there's something, we are so off, the women and the men, because if you take a long time and he takes a long time, neither one of y'all gonna make it out of the house. I mean, and I love a man to look good and smell good, but if it takes him 3 hours to smell good, what does he really smell like? I mean, what is this shower? A shower for a man, I would think, it's gotta be a good 20, maybe 30 minutes. And if he's 6'5", maybe that's 30 minutes for him. You know, you gotta have the water gotta run down your back. But, you know, like it just, 3 hours for Travis, I don't get it. But, you know, if Taylor likes it, then I love it. Maybe she gonna have a song. Maybe Taylor might come out with a song, 3 hours closer to my heart. I don't know what it is. But Dolly Parton, now she is known both, I love Dolly Parton. This is a woman, and she's a big activist. She really is for the community, but this is a woman, she's known for both her talent and her signature looks. Now, her book about her love of fashion just came out, and it is already a bestseller, okay? Now, Dolly, and I keep saying, now she got a book. I keep saying we have got to get Dolly on this show to talk about so many questions. But Dolly don't have she has no like internet. She only uses a fax machine. So we still trying to, we had to find a fax machine just to fax Dolly. So we don't even know if Dolly is getting our faxes. But Dolly says that she takes pride in always being camera ready. So much so that Dolly sleeps in her makeup. Okay, so, and this goes against what every person says about your face. She says in her new book, she's been sleeping in a full face of makeup since the 1980s. And when she moved to LA, she started sleeping in makeup partly because of the earthquakes. And so... Jordan. She said, I'm not heading out on the streets without makeup in case there are cameras out there. I'm gonna be ready to go. So, you know, the thing about it, it is absolutely bad to sleep in makeup, and I have to say, I understand what Dolly says, because, like, you know, I come from being a struggling comic, and makeup artists do charge a lot to do your face. So they're charging a lot. I'm like, I'm asleep in this face until I get my money's worth, you know? Nowadays, I know how to do my makeup, but it never, like, I can do my makeup, but it never looks like the way Rodney John, our Emmy-nominated makeup artist, does. Yes, I say that. But it never looks the same. So sometimes if you know you're gonna be doing something the next day, and you're gonna have to pay for it, a lot of us, especially comics and actresses, all my friends, we will sleep in our makeup, and we sleep just like this. Like, literally, you do not move because you want everything to stay the same. Like, one of my besties, Kim Whitley, she tried to get, when I tell you my girlfriend's so notoriously cheap, she's still trying to make me pay for the light bill to her tennis court when I have my party, my going away party. That girl's so cheap, but Kim will sleep in makeup for like 2 weeks. She will not let it go. But still look like she's 12. So her and Dolly are the same. But like a good makeup job can last you maybe 2.5 days. But people tell you, like the estheticians and stuff, they say don't, because it clogs up your pores. And I'm like, damn that, you ain't paying these makeup bills. But that third day you sleeping in makeup, Dolly, I know your eyebrows are all over the place. You ever woke up and your lashes right underneath your eyes? Or you sleeping with your man, he wake up in his hair and lashes. You traumatize the man, but just literally, like, makeup is all on your pillows, it's on your sheets. So what you save on makeup artists, you end up spending it all cleaning your sheets and your pillowcases. But I do agree with Dolly with the earthquakes, because I lived in LA and we went through major earthquakes, and we had an earthquake a couple years ago, and it was so strong, it scared me so bad, and Kim Whitley called me, and we decided we were gonna do a live on our Instagram because we were so scared. I went and put on lipstick and eyeliner, and Kim was so mad, she wouldn't show her face. Look at her, she looked crazy as all get up. Oh, she looked so mad. And I was just like, Kim, I said, we doing a live. Like, I don't want people to think, if something happened to us, I want them to find me fully made up and cute in the earthquake. But, you know, that's the thing when you're older, you put the makeup on. When you're younger, nobody cares if you don't have makeup on. When you young, you could go out just after getting out of bed. You look fresh, your skin is all fresh. But when you're older, you don't want nobody to see you. If without my makeup, sometimes if you look at me, I look like Set It Off. I'm not. Oh my gosh, so Dolly, you know what? I'm with you, I get it. If it works for you and you look fabulous, then keep your makeup on. Oh my goodness. Now this is the question that I want to ask everybody. Clap. If you won the lottery, clap. Would you tell anybody? If you would tell anybody, clap. Okay. Now if you won the lottery, would you not tell anybody? Clap. Yeah. Yeah. This man anonymously called into the YouTube series, The Ramsey Show, and he said he won the lottery, but he's kept it to himself. Take a look.
2 years ago, I won one of those multi-state lottery drawings with a group of coworkers, and I haven't told anyone. Besides my wife and besides one sibling, no one knows. And
how much?
My question for you, after taxes, it was about $22 million. We haven't even told our 2 teenage children. Mm-hmm. And now I know that sounds strange, but we just don't want them to grow up to be waiters, waiting for us to die so they can get our money.
Okay, he said after taxes, it's $22 million that he has, and he's got a distinctive voice. That sounds like Jimmy, who works on our crew here. Jimmy! Where's Jimmy?
I'm over here,
Jimmy?
Sherri.
Did you win $22 million?
No, ma'am, I did not win $22 million.
Now you sound just like that man that just called.
No, it's not me. Trust me, Miss Sherri, if you knew, you would know first. I promise you that.
Because I would expect to be sailing off into the sunset with you.
Yeah, without a doubt. First online.
That's Jimmy. Oh, my God. Now, this man who won the lottery, this is so funny. You got $22 million, and you can't tell anybody that you won it. I thought when you won 22 million, I thought that what happened is you immediately cut off your family. I thought you moved and then you cut your family off. But this sounds like they're living in the same house. It sounds like they are driving the same car. This man is talking like he is still going to work. If you know, and I understand he said he don't want his kids to feel like they're waiting and being entitled. But if you got 22 million, you supposed to give your kids 3, 4, 5 million to get them off your back so they don't bother you. But I get, but for a man to say that, he knows his kids. He knows his kids that he'll give them $3 million and they're gonna go through the $3 million. But I just think he's going about it all wrong, because if you're gonna do the same thing, stay at your job, drive the same car, stay in the house, and be around your family, then what are you playing the lottery for? Like the lottery, you play the lottery to win money so it can change your life. You're not supposed to win 22 million and you don't do nothing with it. You wasting your time and wasting my lottery ticket. Like, this man said on their podcast, their YouTube channel, he said he bought 2 Toyotas before they won, and he still drives the same Toyotas. That's why if you're gonna do that, you're not supposed to be playing the lottery. I mean, at least upgrade to their high-end version, which is the Lexus. Good grief. You don't drive the same car. I mean, if you are like, my life was perfect before I won the lottery, then you're not supposed to be playing the lottery. You only people who are desperate. You ever been around a friend and everything out of their mouth is like, if I just win the lottery, if I could just win the lottery. Been saying it for years. Only desperate people who dream of being rich are supposed to win the lottery. Because let me tell you something, 22 million. If I won 22 million, this chair would be empty. I'm literally. Let somebody come and say, the song going, we gonna have a good time, and they tell me I won 22 million, but I'm gone, bye. Chair would be empty. Y'all would be like, where's Sherri? At the bank. That's what Sherri is. John, you be right out of here with your hand held out. Would nobody be taking your hand? Like, exactly. So it's supposed to change your life. And then, they even got a show on HGTV that I watch all the time. It's called I Won the Lottery, Now I Get My Dream House. That's what they have.
But Sherri, they also have a show called How the Lottery Ruined My Life.
Okay, so see, that's what the lottery's supposed to do. It's either supposed to enhance your life or ruin it. That's what the lottery is supposed to do. But either way, sir, it's not supposed to say the same. Get the kids some money and go and get a mansion in Miami. 22 million. Oh. Okay, now y'all. If you ever needed a reason to not tell your kids a secret, I got the perfect video for you. A woman wanted to break the news to her parents that she was having a baby, but her toddler beat her to it. Take a look.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm pregnant.
Evie told us.
Evie just told us.
No, she
and we
didn't.
were like, no.
Evie told us on the way over. She said, Mommy has a baby in her tummy.
Okay. Did y'all? I don't blame Evie because this is what Evie's supposed to do. But did you see Evie's face when he goes, Evie already told us? She looked at him like Grandpa told you to act surprised. Like, literally, Evie's looking at her grandfather like, look, now I gotta go home with these people. I'm not gonna have no tablet tonight. Look, she like, if I can't tell my grandparents, who do I tell? But who does not remember telling something that your mother and father, something in the family, and you told and got in trouble? You're like, everybody can think back to when they were little and they told something. And I know one time when I was little, our water had gotten cut off because for some reason, my parents did not pay the bill. And my mother, I don't know what she did when she got water out the toilet. I don't remember what the circumstances was, but I told my teacher and everybody came over, I said, my mama drank water out the toilet. And I told my teacher, and she said, is everything okay? I said, yeah, the water got cut off. And I remember I said it in front of my mother, and my mother said, oh, she did. She said I drank water out the toilet. And I got home because my mother gave me that look. You know when your mother give you that look after you tell, and you go, I'm in trouble, huh? And then she gave me that look, and I woke up 2 weeks later. For me telling something, I don't even know, to then I don't remember nothing in the middle. But kids will tell your business. And I always tell Jeffrey, I'd say you can't be telling what goes on in the family, but because he's got like Asperger's, everything's very literal and black and white. So he's like, if I can't tell, that's lying. And so it's hard trying to explain that to him. But he was younger, and somebody came, one of these therapists had come to the house to evaluate him. And they said to Jeffrey, probably was like a year ago, and they said to Jeffrey, because I was answering all of the questions, and he said, I can answer the questions, Mom. And I went, okay, something about to go down. I just know. So the man looked at Jeffrey with his clipboard. He was like from social services, and he said, Jeffrey, are you happy here? And Jeffrey he goes, okay, well, do you want me to tell you the truth, or you want me to tell you what my mama wants me to tell you? And 2 weeks later, he woke up after that. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sherri will be right back. Thank you. This is a day. Hey, John.
Oh, excuse me, Sherri. I'm sorry. You had me in the streets last night, so I'm a little tired today, but it's a great day. It's a great day.
Because we normally don't go out at night because we have to be up so early, and I get up at 4:45 because I got to go work out. So staying out late is usually not an option for us, but we had a good time last night.
It's a good time.
We did, John. Y'all don't even know what we did. Y'all like, all right, all right. No, seriously. John and I, we hung out with two of the stars from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We hung out. Oh my goodness, my very good friend Garcelle Bouvet, and now my new favorite Sutton Strack. We hung out with them. They invited us to a private viewing party of last night's season premiere at a little swanky hotel suite. Now let me tell you something about these ladies here. They serve champagne, they serve caviar, they had the big supersized shrimp. It was a fancy, when I tell you that spread was fancy, it was just like what you would expect from the ladies of Beverly Hills. And nobody, it was like very intimate, so they had all of these women there who were like, they had these little figures. Nobody was eating. Me and John tore that food up. When I tell you, every time I looked at you, you was tearing that shrimp up.
Sticking it right in that cocktail sauce.
Oh, they had pizza. They ordered buffalo wings, and I said, did somebody say buffalo? I went. We lost our mind with that food. But then the episode started, and they had to, because they shot it already, so they had to relive all of the drama that they were watching on the screen. And Garcelle had shot a scene with her 15-year-old twins, Jax and Jade, at the beach. And they were telling her how hard the show has been on their family. And they were saying her career's taken off, but she spends less time with her boys. And let me tell you something. Don't ever ask me to be one of these housewives, because I felt so bad for my friend, because even though they have worked this out, Garcelle was crying as she watched it. It is very hard being a working mom, and you have to do what you have to do because you are taking care of your family, being a single mother. And she was so emotional. And I had to tell her, I said, Garcelle, here's the thing. You dealing with teenagers. First of all, teenagers be talking out the side of their ass all the time. Like, I said, you can't trust nothing a teenager says, because you got, whether it's a girl or boy, it's hormones raging through their body. Because she was asking her one of the twins one thing, and he's just getting on her, and he was telling her, what you're trying to tell me now, you should have said 2 years ago. And they got a mouth. Then the other one, then she has the other son, and he was like, what? And all he's about is his girlfriend, Ashley. He was like, I miss Ashley. And I said, they think that they know everything. And, She was upset and she was emotional. The cameras catch everything. And she said her kids won't let her parent them. And a lot of people got on her because, you know, Garcelle, she Haitian. She don't play that. But I got what she meant. It's not that they won't let her parent. It's just that when you try to parent, if anybody, clap if you have teenagers. Clap if you have, you know how sometimes, because they think they know everything and you try to parent them and they just give you the pushback. It's so, they take your energy, they make you so tired that when you're trying to tell them something, you go to tell your kids something, they just give you all of this flack. I swear to good God, when I go to Jeffrey's room, I go to his room with a smile on my face, and then he'll be like, why are you in my room? Right there, and then I gotta tell him because I paid for it. This is my room. This is my room. But just all of that energy, like I just want to go and say, hey, jump on the bed with him. Now I'm all on edge because he didn't put me on edge. You know, I'm only in your room because I just wanted to say hi. But now you done made me mad. You're on punishment. You can't even leave the room. It's the pushback. It's, you know, it's like I expend so much energy. And I was like, I just wanted us to go to a nice little breakfast, but now you done it up, and now... So I think this is the issue with a lot of parents they're dealing with, of trying, especially when you're by yourself trying to raise kids by yourself. So I gotta say, I applaud Garcelle for putting herself out there because I couldn't do it, and she did it. And Garcelle and Sutton, thank you so much for the invite. I had a great time. John had a great time. I love you both. And Garcelle, you gonna make it through. You one of the best mothers I know. We were pregnant together, so you gonna make this. You gonna make it through. Now, y'all, the museum in Paris that made Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's wax figure. Remember that they are trying to fix their mistakes. That's what they did. Now, this week we showed you The Rock's wax figure, and I said something was like off. His skin was too light. He had a polo shirt on. It just didn't look like The Rock. And somebody had even said, that's not The Rock, that's the Pebble, all right? That was so funny. And now the museum said that they heard our complaints and they vowed to fix it. Well, they have updated the wax figure and this is what it looks like. Okay, this looks worse than when they started. Okay, it looks worse than when it started. When they said we have heard your complaints, what exactly did you hear? I mean, we specifically said we want, you know, because The Rock has that eyebrow that goes up. Okay? That's what Madame Tussauds did with her wax figure of The Rock. Where's the eyebrow? What? And then put the picture, put the updated picture that the Paris Museum. Okay, first of all, and why is he still wearing that dumbass polo? This picture right here looks like The Rock's distant uncle at the barbecue. And I mean, I know they darkened up his skin a little bit. He still looked like a gym teacher. He still looked like that guy that's coming about to lay put the carpet on your floor. All y'all did was, they gave him stress lines. That's what it is. Now he looks more stressed out in his face. And I want to know, this museum, did y'all get the interns to do your sculpting of the wax figures? You got all the AI out here and you still can't get The Rock right. I just figured maybe the museum's on a budget. Maybe that's what it is. And I specifically said, since they said they were listening to what we said, I specifically told y'all, call up Madame Tussauds because she did it right. Look at The Rock. That's what Madame Tussauds did. Like, I just want to ask the museum in Paris, when you called Madame Tussauds, did you get a voicemail? Did you leave a message? If you need me to facilitate a Zoom between you and Madame Tussauds, I could do that. As a matter of fact, Madame Tussauds, can you just loan them your rock? Because this is a travesty. Oh my gosh, that polo. And another thing we were talking about before, we were talking about Cher. Now, Cher is opening up about her 40-year age difference with boyfriend Alexander Edwards, all right? Now, Cher told Extra she and Alexander have similar tastes and humor, but sometimes he doesn't get her references. See, this is why I tell all y'all older men, y'all wanna run and date these little young girls, and you refuse to date women my age, I know your references. I know. I understand you like nobody else. I understand if we in bed and you smiling, but then your mouth goes slack, you having a stroke. I know that. I know that. Them little girls don't know that. Them little girls that you with, they don't know that they gotta go in the bathroom and grab that red pill. They don't know they gotta give you that red pill within the first 10 minutes. I'm telling you, y'all older men, there ain't a pill that you can talk about that I don't know. I know every rosuvastatin, valstatins, I know them all. When you say earth, wind, and fire to me, I know you talking about the group and not the weather elements. But I'm too old. I'm too old. I'm telling you, I know, and see these little girls, they got the little flat stomachs and the abs, that's what y'all like. But I'm telling you, old man, y'all get in the bed with me and feel my Buddha belly, you gonna wanna go to another level. But I'm telling you, lay up in bed with me, feel this belly, it's gonna put you to sleep. That's what I'm telling you. Y'all wanna get these young girls, don't know what you're talking about. And Cher, I'm telling you, Cher, if you say to Alexander, Dick Van Dyke, he not gonna know none of them words. Well, he might know one or two of the words. And look, y'all, if you don't get that joke, ask your mama. She'll tell you. I mean, dig it. When your lover says to you, you know I wasn't born then, that's worse than them calling you ma'am. A little piece of my soul would shrink if my man kept saying, well, you know I wasn't born then. I mean, when somebody is 40 years younger, he can't even ask his mama what she talking about. He got to go Google or ask his grandmama. Because you got to figure out, when he was born, Cher was already 40 years old. So Cher, if you're gonna be with Alexander, you gotta speak his language. You gotta talk the way the kids talking now. Cher, if he says to you, look, Cher, you ate that, that means he thinks you did a good job, okay? If he says to you, Cher, if he says, this meal slaps, it means the food is delicious. You know, you gotta understand with these little young ones. I'm telling, because they be trying to come to me, and I had to get all of these terms. If they say it's lit in here, he's not talking about the lighting. He means he's having a good time. And the one thing you gotta know, Cher, if your little young ones mentions Renaissance, he is not talking about the Harlem Renaissance. He's talking about Beyonce. That's what he's talking about. So because it's such a big age difference, just go and keep him in bed and wear him out, girl. Then he ain't even gotta say nothing. Yeah. Actor Chris Pratt, he thinks, now look, every old man gonna go back with his woman and be like, can I rub your belly? That's what So Chris Pratt thinks that we should throw out our kids' trophies and memorabilia when they grow up. Now, he posted pictures of his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, who's been on the show, with her old trophies. Now, she's been storing them in her mom, Maria Shriver's house. And Chris wrote, real talk, once your kid goes through the stuff, is it okay to toss? I mean, do we need the I was on a sports team trophy? Can it be donated? How many do we gotta keep? So Chris Pratt, I know, he's saying, he's only saying this because I think that boys don't care about this kind of thing. Like, I think as women, girls, we put more emotion into hanging on to things because it's memories that we have. And I have to say, I still have all of Jeffrey's trophies. I have his ribbons, the best citizen in the class. I have those. I got so much of Jeffrey's stuff that I will not get rid of. I had to sneak it out of the house this morning so he wouldn't see, because he don't think I have it. I brought his popsicle house. Thank you, Michael Lee. This is the popsicle house. Jeffrey made this for me about 7 years ago, and it's in LA, and I still get emotional because when we moved out here, I had the movers bubble wrap it specially by itself, and they was like, really, lady? And I was like, yes. And so I brought this house to New York City, and it is so delicate, and I will never get rid of this house that he made me when 7 years ago, because I look at it and I know the memories. I got pictures of Jeffrey when he was a baby that I literally, y'all, I'm telling y'all, the pictures of Jeffrey, oh my gosh. Like literally, okay, so this is Jeffrey. This one right here is me holding Jeffrey when he was a child. And I had it, this is the way I had it. Okay, it's upside down. So this is where, and I had this, I made it into a canvas. And I had it on the wall. And because I loved it so much, because it was his hands on my face. And I had it on the wall in the entrance of my house. And let me tell you something. Cat Williams came to my house. So he came to my house. And he said, Sherri, Jeffrey's 14 years old now. Why you still got this picture on the wall? And Kat kept talking about this picture of Jeffrey, like, because Jeffrey was 14 and he was 5. And Kat kept saying, you gotta take the picture off the wall. And I cried when I took it off the wall. And let me tell you something, and do you think my son even noticed that I took the picture off the wall? It was a big old stain on the wall because it had been there for 7-something years. He just kept going by. He didn't even notice anything. When I tell you every drawing that Jeffrey has ever made, I made it into a canvas. And I would take the drawings and I would send the canvases to everybody in my family. Until my cousin called me one day and she said, you know, you do realize Jeffrey draws something every daggone week. So she said, what am I gonna do with all these pictures you keep sending me? So literally, I would do that. And for women, these are touching things. But your boys, they don't care, because I was like, well, maybe Jeffrey wanna give that best class citizen and his soccer trophy to his girlfriend. And he like, no, she not getting that from me. So I say, look, I'm on, Chris, you just gotta roll with it. I'm on dog on your wife's side, because I keep everything. I'll never get rid of nothing of my stuff. I'm gonna give these to you. And this one right here, and y'all, this one right here, Jeffrey, we did this. He was sitting on my lap and he was having a temper tantrum. And so me, as I was holding him, I said, if you don't sit down or right, it's memories. You just know what happens when you do it. So now, and y'all be careful with my house. Don't break it, my little house he made. So relationship expert Tasia Saffold has some advice for women who she says are dating all wrong. Now, Tasia says that women shouldn't be limiting themselves by dating one person. She says you should date multiple men at the same time. Take a look.
Reasons why you are single and miserable. You are doing single all wrong. Number one, you should be dating multiple men. You need to be dating 2 to 3 men baseline, okay? Let me tell you why. POV, you were in a relationship with a guy for 3 years. It didn't work out. It took you 2 years to get over that relationship. When you hit the streets now, baby, you're 5 years in a deficit, okay? You don't even know what you like. You don't even know what's outside. You need to know what you like. They young, they old, they tall, they short. Try your hand at it, baby. You need to go outside. You need to date to learn what you like.
Now, clap. I would ask you this. Clap, ladies, if you feel like you should date multiple men. Okay? Now, the ladies in my audience who feel like you should not date multiple men, clap. It's a lot of y'all. Okay, now I gotta tell you, for being single for so long, I do agree with Tasia, because I didn't agree with that at first, and that's what messed me up. That's why I got married and divorced twice. Because I feel like a lot of women feel like if I date somebody, I want to give them my full attention. I want to find out what they like, what I like, because I want this to go somewhere. So I don't want to be wasting my time. But just like Tasia said, when you date one person, all your emotions are invested in that one person. And so you're not looking at anybody else. I used to be like that. So I would date one person. I would start curlicuing what my married name would be. Sherri Momoa, Sherri Noah, Sherri Kravitz. It's just like, look, with just regular men, because I don't want to say the regular men's name, but I would count how many vowels would be in the name. I would be picturing what our future looked like. I pictured my wedding dress. I'm over here going on 2 dates. I'm over here praying for him that God would bless him with finance. Like, I need to be praying for God to bless my finances. I'm over here praying. I made a storyboard, and what happened was I ended up marrying a person that was not right for me because I invested everything in there. Now, I wasn't dating anybody else. And for some reason, I thought if I was dating other people, the man would look at me, differently, that I was acting disloyal. But a dating coach told me, she said, you have to date other people to find out what you like. And she said, she said to me, Sherri, you always have expectations when you go out on a date. You gotta date people with no expectations. She said, Sherri, you gotta go on dates and learn how to flirt and have conversations. You can't do that with one person. And so meanwhile, here you trying to date one person. Meanwhile, the guys, they dating 4 and 5 other girls. And you think you the only one. You call and you like, okay, they're not answering the phone, they're working. Yeah, you know what? They working with other girls is what they're working with. You always get, they got the backups, and I'm gonna say this, each person that I dated brought something different to the table. Then I could judge who I liked, who was good for me. You know, and another thing, when you date other people, it does make you look more attractive because you're not all over one person. You're not being needy. You're not going, why didn't he call me? What's going on? So for a whole year, I went out with a bunch of different guys. I remember one time I went to Atlanta and I went out with 3 different men when I went to Atlanta. And I saw, okay, this is not good for me. I saw, okay, wow, he's cheap. I found some really cool ones. Some, you know, and it was just like, it was some cool ones. It was some that ghosted me. It was just, but what I found out was what worked for me, what I liked. I was able to go and have conversation without expectation and just have a good time. And I learned how to flirt, you know, without picturing a wedding dress. It worked. It was nice to have options. So for me, I agree with you, I really agree with you, Tasia. I appreciate the great advice. I think sometimes we kind of get ourselves in a hole, you know, and then you invest so much of your heart into one person, and if it doesn't work out, then you in bed, snot coming down, you don't want all your girlfriends is hugging on you, and it's just like, but when I would get ghosted, I was like, well, that's not that big of a deal. I got a date on Wednesday, so bye-bye, guy. You ain't gotta worry about calling me back. It didn't bother me. Sherri will be right back. It's a good day. Hello, thank you. Oh, man. John Murray, hello.
Hello, it's a fall Friday in New York City, but it's 80 degrees outside, so I'm loving life right now. Loving life.
It's 80 degrees outside, but it feels like Alaska in this studio. And I have to apologize to all out. It's so cold because I be hot flashing during the show. Everybody got to suffer for me because sometimes I'm like so hot, like it just hits me in the middle of me interviewing somebody or me talking about, and then I just got to sit through it for a minute. I got to be, so when it sounds like I'm just kind of stuttering and move, it's usually because I'm hot flashing. So they keep the studio extra cold for me. I'm really happy the weekend is here so I can finally get some rest. You know, and not that, for me, because we have to be here so early, so I try to go to bed early, but I've been going out to events all week. And I was so excited because I went to an event that my friend Star Jones invited me to. It was this was really great. This was a private gathering of very successful women. And so this is just a picture of the people who were left partying because we didn't want to go home. But it was a full room, really, of successful women, and we were celebrating actress Vanessa Bell Calloway, who currently stars on Broadway in the hit Broadway, the Broadway play Pearly Victorious by Ossie Davis. And Rachel Oden, the managing director and head of Black Wealth Initiatives at JP Morgan. So she was honoring both these beautiful ladies. And so Star said she wanted to invite a lot of her friends who are very successful women. And I said, well, what you asking me for? And so I did, because Star keeps asking me to go and ask me to go, and I never go. But John always gets on me to go and build relationships, because he's like, John's philosophy is you can't all of a sudden be asking somebody for something and you don't have a relationship with them. So I got off the couch and I went with just kind of a lot of anxiety going, you know, to be with these women. But I have to tell you, it was amazing being amongst women who are doing what they love to do. And because they're doing what they love to do, they're making money and are successful at it. But, you know, I go through this thing being transparent. I just always go, why am I here? I don't belong with whoever I'm with. So this is always like it's that thing that's on your face when you step into the room. And these are women, you know, they got global businesses. Like Malak Compton Rock was there, and she was on the plane to go to Africa for her charity that she works, that she founded. Then we had Susan Taylor, the former editor-in-chief of Essence magazine. Susan Taylor got up and she was like, I want to quote a Nigerian author. And I was, you know, I was sitting here like, I ain't got no quotes, I ain't got nothing. If this would have everybody standing up giving these famous, I was like, oh my gosh. Then it was like Tamara Tooney from Law and Order. She's a director now and producer, but you recognize her from Law and Order. Simone Smith, the co-founder and owner of her own jewelry line, but you know her, she's also married to LL Cool J. And then we had a woman by the name of Catherine Chenault, who's a philanthropist and an executive and a lawyer. She's married to the former CEO of American Express. And so Star had all of these women get up to speak about why they love being there. And so, you know, I'm looking at these mega successful women, and Miss Chenault stood up and she started speaking, and I'm like, wow, she's so smart and she's rich and she is good and she is kind. And she stood up. And this is what she said. She said she was so joyful to be there amongst sisters. And she said, but I'm just fangirling because Sherri Shepherd is here. And she said, I never miss an episode. She said, I watch it every day. She said, what's going on with you and Cat Williams? Like, she watches the show. And she spoke about 7 minutes about how the Sherri show affects her life. And she said, you represent us well. And I'm crying in my food. And she said, she looked at me and she said, we need you. And I admired, and it was so many more women that I met. I admired these women so much. And it was crazy that they admired me just as much. And like I said, Star Jones has invited me to things like this for so long, but I stay home because I always felt like that's too much. I don't belong with these women. And meanwhile, they were telling me that I inspired them. So I say this to say, you never know who you're inspiring. But in order to know who you're inspiring, you have to get out of your comfort zone and show up. And the fact that Susan Taylor, after she quoted Njangi, something or the other, like she said, and Sherri Shepherd. And I was like, Susan Taylor, know my name. Oh my God. So really, it is something about getting out of your comfort zone and stopping that thinking that you don't belong, because if you want to be there, you do belong. You do belong, and saying that to ourselves. We belong. Oh my goodness, and so I do want to thank you, Star Jones. Thank you for staying on me and not giving up on me. I appreciate you and I love you so much, my sis. So anyway, Halloween is coming. Who clap if you have young children? Clap, okay. Clap if you taken them Halloween shopping, you got the Halloween costumes. No, y'all are not even in the mood. Only one person, okay. I understand. I told Jeffrey last year, I told him that he was not getting dressed up for Halloween. I told him that, but apparently he forgot. And he wanted to be Michael Myers. He wanted to have the axe and the head. And I told him we were not doing that. I don't like big kids running around with the eyeball hanging out, you know, blood coming down. And I said no. And he couldn't understand why little kids got to do it and he couldn't. And trying to explain to him, you look grown, you look like you're gonna rob somebody. With these outfits on, because now everybody robbing banks, they got the daggone mask on. So I said, so we went to the Halloween store and he didn't like any of the masks, nothing. And we finally settled on a Top Gun costume. Because I said, Jeffrey, yeah, he got the Top Gun. Oh my gosh. And I told him, I said, girls like men who know how to fly planes. They like men who know how to, I said, they don't like men that carry eyeballs in their hand. You'll never get a girlfriend like that. So he's got that. We're going to pass out the candy. But y'all, don't forget, I'm very, very excited because please do not forget to catch our Halloween show, which is this Tuesday, because it is going to be incredible. I am so excited. Because I I get off on doing Halloween shows. I've always liked Halloween shows, and I've always, when I dreamed of having a talk show, I said, you know, when we do Halloween, I want to go all out, and I don't even know how we're gonna top this one, but just watch it on Tuesday. So, look at you, you say, yeah, we will. All right. Newly single Tia Mowry is taking some much-needed time for herself. And Tia posted that she took a trip to Spain and London where she spent some time alone. Yes, she did. Over here, being all fast, I love it. So Tia posted, in the solitude I encountered, I learned to embrace stillness and welcome the quiet. This newfound peace provided me with the space to listen to my thoughts, and more importantly, it afforded me the opportunity to actually process them. And I know Tia Mowry, and I love this for her, because, you know, she needs to do this for herself. When you've been married for more than half your life, even when you're dating and you break up, you gotta take a break and figure out who you are. You gotta, it's like you have to, you gotta sit in stillness, and you gotta get back in tune with your spirit. Because when you're in a relationship, especially being in a marriage, you tend to give a lot to make it work. And sometimes you realize you're suppressing some of who you are in order to blend into one. And now she gets to go out and she gets to find out exactly who she is, you know, what she's always wanted to be. And so I know about this because when I went through my divorce, I don't remember if it was 1 or 2, but I know Thanksgiving was coming, and one of the best Thanksgivings I ever had was by myself. I know my family gonna be upset, but I went by myself for Thanksgiving. I got a hotel room. Oh, it was my first one. It was the first. I got a hotel room in LA, and it was one of the best vacations I ever had. And then the next night, it was the first one, yeah. The next night, I went to Niecy Nash had a party, a matchmaking party. I went to Niecy's party, and that is where I met my second husband. I like to call that Black Friday. My ex, he gonna be like, you gonna tell one more joke about me. But no, really the joke was about Niecy, because I should have never answered that daggone phone. Niecy kept calling me, but when Niecy Nash called, you answer the phone. But that Thanksgiving, I got to reflect, I got to relax, and it was just wonderful. I remember going to a very high-end restaurant by myself. It was so nice, and it was by myself, and I ordered wine, and then I ordered wine, and the waitress said, who are you ordering wine for? I said, Jesus. It's me and Jesus. We on a date. And he liked the good wine. And so, and that's what I did all night. So, but the thing about it is Tia went to Europe. I've never taken a faraway vacation to Europe. I'm a scaredy cat. And I'm gonna tell you why, because when I was a struggling comic, I was supposed to go to Spain to do comedy for the troops, and I missed my flight. So because I missed my flight to go to Spain with the other comics, I had to take a detour through Germany and then Spain. And you know, when you get on an airline and you're going to Europe, they talk in that language, but then they're supposed to translate it into English. Well, I guess they figured there ain't nobody on this plane that needs English, because everything was German. Now, it was raining very hard, and they were saying in German that they were gonna land the plane. I don't know what they're saying, so I'm going, what is the problem? I speak English. I don't know why you talk louder, but you know, I was like, I speak English. So we landed the plane. I don't know what's going on. I had to follow everybody. We get on the bus. I'm supposed to be in Spain, but we get on this bus. They take us to this hotel. Nobody's talking to me, and everybody's checking in, and I don't know what's going on. They give me a room, and when I tell you, I was in Germany in the hotel room crying because all I had was a calling card from 7-Eleven. That's when you needed a calling card. And all I wanted to do was call my grandmother so she could pray. And my grandmother, Mary, like, she starts her prayer going, Lord, this your child Mary coming to you. And I'm coming to you for my grandbaby. Father God, like, you know, sometimes when you're going through something, you need that, and she'd go, Father God, my grandbaby, I need you to, and I was just crying with that stuff, and then it was like, you've got to pay so-and-so, and I had to hang up, but I was hungry in Germany, and I was like, where's the restaurant? And the lady said, restaurant? And I said, yeah, and she was like, yeah, and she pointed. And I went out there in Germany, and I started walking, and it was nighttime, and there was graffiti on all the buildings. And one thing I know, you ain't gotta be German to understand graffiti. I was like, graffiti mean gang, and I don't know what that is in German. I'm from Chicago. I could have sworn I saw Blackstone and Crip, I don't know what. But I walked right back to that hotel. I sat down in the lobby until everybody else came down that morning. So I don't, Tia, God bless you. If you need a traveling companion, I'll go with you, but I'm not going alone. But despite, even though I tell my story, I do encourage women to go out and find themselves. Go do it. Eat, pray, love. Be like Stella and get your groove back. Oh, my God. So Boris Kodjoe just gave his daughter the biggest surprise. Boris and Nicole Ari Parker's daughter, Sophie, she is celebrating her first homecoming at Howard University. And Boris and Nicole, they told Sophie that they wouldn't be able to visit until her Thanksgiving, because that's the thing. You want your parents and family to come to homecoming. So, but Boris popped up and he surprised Sophie, and she was so overjoyed at the surprise. Look at her, she jumped in his arms. Oh my gosh. I love their family. And also, my dear friend, comedian Chris Spencer, his son also goes to Howard, so he was down there with celebrating the homecoming. So y'all, I'm glad you enjoyed Howard's homecoming. It is a lot of fun when you go. Oh my goodness. But man, we lost an icon this week. We did. Richard Roundtree passed away at the age of 81. I'm gonna tell you something, he had swag up until the end, Richard Roundtree. Oh my goodness. Right there, Richard Roundtree worked for 4 decades, and he was best known for his groundbreaking role as Shaft. And I used to watch Shaft, I remember, with my parents, and Shaft was a bad mother. Shut your mouth. You remember that? Tap, 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 tap. Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother man? Shaft. Can you dig it? Then it go dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And then they had had the snares. Everybody knew the music, and you know, Richard Roundtree would come out with that leather coat. Yeah. Nobody could wear a long leather coat like Richard Roundtree. And he was one of the first black action heroes in film. He redefined black masculinity, and he showed a black man who was sexy on and off the screen. And my family, my aunties told me he was a sex machine to all the chicks. So we celebrate Richard Roundtree because he was a legend, and you will forever be missed, Mr. Roundtree.
We're gonna have a good time.